Hello! I'm going to bring a story time for you today. I actually have two books that I'll bring to you. The first one is The Three Little Pigs, a story about patience, adapted by Meredith Rusu, illustrated by Beth Hughes, and advice given by Eva Martinez. So she and Meredith worked together on this one. And then the second one will be Little Red Riding Hood by Susan Purcell, adapted by her. And this is a special one that deals with phonics. So we'll learn a little bit about phonics today. So let's read Three Little Pigs first, okay? Okay. Make sure you see the pages. Once there were three little pigs who lived with their mother in a tiny cottage. Their mother loved them very much, and she tried her best to teach them all the important things in life, like kindness, hard work, and patience. But sometimes the younger piggies had a hard time paying attention. Have you ever had a hard time paying attention? What are some activities you like paying attention to? Do you like to read books? Do you like to go to school? Do you have a favorite subject? The littlest one was silly and carefree. He would play all day, poking hedgehogs with sticks while they were napping just to see them curl up into balls. And the middle piggy was rather lazy. When their mother would ask them to help stir the soup for dinner, he would always say he was too busy watching the shapes of the clouds. But the oldest piggy was polite and thoughtful. He'd build gadgets to help around the cottage, and he was so patient while he worked that his brothers would make fun of him. "You're growing moss on your snout," the youngest would tease. "If you would just finish quickly, you could play with us," the middle one would add. But their older brother just smiled. Important things are worth being patient for. Which of the three brothers are you most like? What do you think? One morning, their mother said to them, "You have all grown into such big piggies now. This cottage is too small. It's time for you to go make your own homes. Hard work and be patient, and your homes will be sturdy and strong." So the pigs kissed their mother goodbye, promising to do as she said. But as soon as they had left, the youngest piggy moaned, "It's so boring building houses. I want to play." He gathered some straw and threw together a wobbly shack as quickly as he could. Then he went back to chasing the hedgehogs. Have you ever tried to finish something quickly, even if you knew it wasn't your best work? Like their mom said, work hard and be patient, and you'll do much better than building a house of straw. Seeing his brother finish so quickly made the middle piggy want to finish even faster. "Sticks are just as good as logs," he said. "Why bother chopping down a tree when I can gather a few branches and build my house in half the time?" Very quickly, he was done, and he went back to watching for shapes in the clouds. But the oldest piggy didn't select straw or sticks. He headed straight to town and bought as many bricks as he could. Then he carefully laid them one by one. After several days of hard work, he had finished his fine house. It was sturdy and strong, with a tall chimney and even a cozy fireplace. Why was the oldest brother patient? Do you think that children can be patient, or is patience something that only grown-ups can do? What do you think? Late one afternoon, a hungry wolf passed by. He spotted the youngest piggy outside playing with the hedgehogs, and his stomach rumbled. "Looks it, time for dinner," the wolf growled. "And my dinner is you." "Eep!" cried the little piggy. He raced inside his straw house and slammed the door. Little pig, let me in, the wolf said. His deep voice rattled the door, and for the first time, the little piggy wished his house was made of something other than straw. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, he said, trembling. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, cried the wolf. And he did. The youngest piggy was so frightened. He ran faster than his little legs had ever carried him before. He raced straight to his brother's house made of sticks, and once he was safely inside, they slammed the door together. The wolf stomped up to the door. Now he could smell 2 little piggies inside, and his hunger doubled. Little pig, let me come in, he snarled. The piggies hugged each other tightly. Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins, they said. The wolf licked his lips. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. With one big blow, the house of sticks crumbled to the ground. Eep! The 2 little pigs squealed with fright. They just managed to slip through the wolf's eager paws and hurry down the path to their brother's brick house. He let them in at once, and they slammed the door. Now the wolf could smell all 3 piggies, and he was hungrier than ever. Little pigs, let me in, he banged upon the door. Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins, the oldest brother shouted. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, the wolf cackled. He had already blown down 2 houses. What was one more? So the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. But no matter how hard and how long he huffed and puffed, the sturdy brick house didn't topple. It didn't even move an inch. No matter, the wolf growled. You piggies can't stay there forever. I shall wait for you to come out, and then I will gobble you up. What are we going to do? The 2 younger piggies asked, frightened. He's right. We can't stay in here forever. And when we come out, he'll devour us one by one. But the older brother just smiled, as he always did. I have an idea, he said. It will take patience, but I have a feeling patience is on our side. He gathered all the vegetables he had saved in his pantry, and then he simmered a delicious stew over a roaring fire in the fireplace. Outside, the wolf sniffed the air. The delightful scent of both the stew and the piggies drifted past, and it drove him wild with hunger. Ooh, those pigs, he cried. I shall eat them this very second, in their own stew. Without thinking, he clambered up the chimney, planning to drop down into the house and devour the pigs before they could escape. But his impatience made him foolish, and as soon as he dropped down the chimney, he realized his mistake, because he landed right into the boiling stew. Ouch! Cried the wolf. The boiling stew burned his bottom so badly he shot straight back up the chimney. Howling in pain, he ran away while holding his smoking tail, never to be seen again. Thank you, brother, the 2 younger piggies said. If it weren't for you, we would be in that wolf's stomach. You're welcome, their brother hugged them. I'm glad you're safe, and I hope you've learned your lesson. We have, they replied. We really have. We should have built our houses as you did, with sturdy bricks instead of sticks and straw. But you know that using bricks takes time and patience, their brother said, because sometimes the things worth having are the things worth waiting for. The piggies nodded. It's never too late to start being patient, they said. And they went right back to work. And the end. I hope you enjoyed that one, Three Little Pigs. So let's read Little Red Riding Hood, a fairy tale with phonics. So I'll show you what phonics are. We're going to sound out some words that have the same letters that we're going to be learning. So, okay. So once upon a time, there was a little girl who wore a red skirt, red shoes, and a red hood. Her name was Little Red Riding Hood. So I'm emphasizing the words that begin with R. So did you spot all those words that I said that were of R? So let's read these words right here. We've got red, rabbit, and roof. Those all use the letter R for you to pronunciate. Red, as you know, is the color. A rabbit or a bunny, you know, the cute little animals that hop all around. And then a roof, that's the top of the house. One day, her mother said, "Grandma is really not well. Can you run around and see her right away? Maybe you can spell some words with that have R, like rat, or rice, or ring, or room." So we're going to look at the letter W on this page. Red Riding Hood walked through the wood to Grandma's house. A wolf was waiting for her to wander close. Then he jumps out. "Well, hello," growled the wolf. "What do you want to play?" "No, thank you. I'm walking to Grandma's house," said Little Red Riding Hood, looking worried. Did you spot any W words? We heard worried, worried, walking, wood, as in, you know, a forest, wood, and then a wolf. The scary wolf is talking to the Red Riding Hood. "Before you leave the wood, why not pick some flowers?" said the wolf. "I should. What a good idea," said Little Red Riding Hood. So we're emphasizing on the oo sound of hood, good, and wood. Did you notice that they all rhymed? That's because they have the same ending. They all end in O-O-D. Some rhyming words. Really cool, right? "What a treasure you are," said the wolf. "It's a pleasure to meet you," as he ran off. That naughty wolf was soon knocking on Grandma's door. Grandma knew it was not Red Riding Hood, so she hid in the wardrobe. When the wolf walked in, Grandma was nowhere to be seen. He put her nightgown and her nightcap on. He's all dressed up like Grandma. As the wolf got into bed, Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. Do you notice the O-O in door? Door. Straight away, she saw something wasn't right. She walked across the floor. "Poor Grandma," she said. "Your face looks very odd." "Hello, my dear," the wolf said. "Do not fear. Come and sit near." Do you hear those rhyming words? They all end in E-A-R. Dear, fear, and near. "My, what big eyes you have, Grandma," said Riding Hood. "All the better to see you with," replied the sly wolf. "And your teeth are huge," gasped Little Red Riding Hood. "All the better to eat you with," said the wolf, jumping to his feet. Red Riding Hood screamed. The wolf threw off the nightdress, and Red Riding Hood ran away as fast as she could, fearing for her life. A woodcutter heard Red Riding Hood screaming. He rushed in, holding his axe. "I'll have that wolf's tail," he hollered, but the big gray wolf escaped with his tail. He ran away and never came near Red Riding Hood again. Yay! Then Grandma groaned from inside the wardrobe. The woodcutter grabbed her hand and let Grandma out. "Thank you," said Grandma, grinning at the woodcutter and grabbing Red Riding Hood for a great big hug. Did you notice something new on this page? We were emphasizing the GR sound. Grr. So grandma, groaned, grabbed, grinning, and great. They all begin with GR. Grew. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes too. This is cause for cake and a cup of coffee. So right now we are emphasizing C, the letter C. This is cause, cake, cup, and coffee. Do you like coffee? I like coffee. They went into the kitchen to put on the kettle and fetch some cupcakes. Cupcakes was another C word. So we've got cupcakes, coffee, cups, and cause. The wolf had quite enough for one day. He went to live a quiet life deep in the wood and quivered and quaked whenever he saw Red Riding Hood. Did you hear something new? I heard something new. We're emphasizing QU. Quite, quiet, quivered, and quaked. Okay. And that is the end. That's the end of that. And all throughout this book, they're teaching how to make sounds and how to understand, like grandma. We heard grandma. We have cupcakes, or the C sound that we were learning. We've got ears, and we heard lots of rhyming words with ears, like dear and fear and near. And then the R sound, red, or writing. Thank you all for joining me for story time. I hope to see you next time. You have a great day, okay? Bye.